Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Christmas DIY and it's in collaboration with Sue over at Discovering the Art of Living. It's her YouTube channel. And this collab is Christmas movie themed with the movie Christmas with the Kranks being featured. So let's get started. Okay, so here I'm going to take one of these tinsel snowmen from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to remove all the tinsel. And the reason why I chose this snowman is because in the movie Christmas with the Kranks, they had canceled Christmas and at the last minute they had to decorate everything for the house for their daughter to come out. And so the snowman, which they called Frosty, was a challenge to get out and decorated. So I decided to do a snowman in honor of little Frosty. Or should I say Big Frosty? Anyway, remove all the tinsel, tug and pull till it all comes off. And the nose, I thought I would have to like yank it off, but it actually just screws off real easy. So I was surprised. It came off real easy. So now I'm taking one of these cleaning cloths. They're multi-purpose cleaning cloths from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to kind of guesstimate how much I'm gonna need. I don't really measure when I do my DIYs. I probably should, but I've done these things for so long I don't measure anymore. So I just kind of guesstimate and then snip. And so I'm going to basically cover him with this cloth for the moment being. So I'm going to again guesstimate how much of it I need. Snip off the excess and then hot glue it with the seam in the back. So it's pretty easy so far. Actually, this DIY is easy. It's just a few steps, but it's easy. And the outcome, just wait to see the outcome. It's so cute. Okay, so we're gonna glue and hold it down. And what's great about these cloths, you can hold it down after you put your glue and you won't burn your fingers. Oh, that's a good thing. Because let me tell you, a lot of these cloths, you hold it down and that heat comes right through. But not this cloth. This cloth is pretty good. So I'm going to snip off the two sides on the top so I can glue it in place and kind of contour it to his little body. Give it form. So I'll do it on both sides. Then I realize on this side that it's a little bit too high on the top, so I go ahead and trim off a portion of the top and get the other side as well. So just trim off whatever you don't need, whatever it takes to make it form better. And so here again, I'm gonna hot glue the two corners so it'll kind of contour to his body. And I use my little silicone spatula to hold that down. Even though I probably could have just done it with my finger, but I didn't want the glue to seep through. So now I'm taking some more of this cloth and I'm gonna cover his little face. And again, I'm kind of guesstimating, but on this one here, I don't have enough cloth for the back portion, so I do end up mending it and adding some more cloth. But it's okay, it's all going to be covered up with something else. You know, this is not the DIY. This is just getting it ready. This is just the prepping of it. So I did make a hole where the nose was because I don't want to lose where the hole is because I want to put his little carrot nose back on. So I use a marker to make a hole, to make a spot, and I do make a hole with some real thin tweezers. I just make a little hole. So here I'm gonna glue on the rest of this cloth, hot glue it, get it on both sides, and get it nice and tight. And that's gonna be important for the rest of it. And now I'm going to mend the little spot in the back that's missing cloth And it's important. Oh, here I'm putting a little toothpick in there so I don't lose my spot. So here I'm going to mend the little back area. And again, I just kind of guesstimate it, if that's such a word. And I see that it's a little bit too long, so snip it and then just press it down, and we're good to go for the next step. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take some Mod Podge and we're going to cover him up completely. Wherever the cloth is, we're going to saturate him. I mean saturate him. And this cloth is really good for that because it holds good moisture. So it's a good cloth for this. And so I just go through and get it all nice and moist with the Mod Podge. Get good coverage. I can't miss any spot or else I'm going to have trouble later. So put lots on there. Okay, so it's looking good. So before it dries, you have to get some spackle, and this is from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to cover him up with spackle. Yes, this is going to be our snowman. This is going to be the snow, all the spackle. And the best part about this spackle is that with the layer of Mod Podge, the spackle stays on the cloth. Without the Mod Podge, the spackle would not even stay on there. It would just come off. And so just keep dabbing some on, working your way all the way around. Get his whole body and his face. Wherever the cloth is, you're going to kind of form the spackle and press it in there and pat it, dab it, whatever you gotta do. Get it all on there. And get it on there quick before that Mod Podge dries, because once it's dry, that spackle won't adhere well. Okay, so now we're going to let that snowman dry, and I'm taking this Christmas tree form that I had left over from another project, and I'm going to take some of this tinsel garland ties, and I'm going to just wrap the tinsel garland ties around this tree form. I don't know if you got to watch my video of my DIY challenge with Teresa B DIY, but I used one of these tinsel trees, took it apart, and I made a jute twine tassel tree with half of it. So this is the other half of the form. I only used one half of that form, so this is the other half. So you know, waste not, want not. Gotta use up my stuff. So I'm just going to keep adding some of this this garland ties, and making sure that it's nice and formed, and make sure to use those little teeth. Those little teeth are perfect for this because it'll help hold the garland ties in place. So I think I use about 4 or 5 of these garland ties. But I just keep wrapping it around to kind of form the tree, and then I'll press in certain places where I feel like it's not looking like a tree. But this tree was kind of an odd shape to begin with, but it works out. It still looks cute at the end as I just form it. You know what, I think I did add another one. So yeah, I think I added about 5 of those garland ties. So yeah, here's where I just form it real quick. Just getting to look like a tree. So here I'm taking some of these 2 types of berry garland that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use this pretty red one, and I'm going to use the green and white one also. So I snip off a portion of each, and I'm just going to wrap it around, and that's going to be my decorative touch, because I'm not going to worry about lights or ornaments. This is going to just take care of all that. This is just going to be the decor portion. So here I cut it a little bit too short, so I had to add a piece, but thank goodness that this berry garland has wire in it, so it's forgiving. So now I'm taking some of the green and white berry garland, and I'm gonna wrap that around the tree as well. And the reason why I chose a little tree, to make a little tree for this collab, for this movie theme, is because in the movie, since they had canceled Christmas, they didn't get a tree. So then they had to go borrow the neighbor's tree. So I thought, okay, I'll do a snowman and I'll do a tree. Christmas with the Kranks. Okay, so here's my little star for my tree. I only wish I would have found a ham. That would have been perfect. But anyway, so here I'm going to hold it with my little silicone spatula so I don't get burnt. So now I can get my shadow box ready. And so I purchased this shadow box and I took off the embellishments that were on it. And also this really pretty snowflake fabric from the Dollar Tree, the fat quarter. And it's got snowflakes on them. So I'm going to just cut off a section of it so I can cover the inside portion of the shadow box. And I cut the outside, which is going to be a little bit big, but that's okay. I'll trim it to shape so it'll fit just right. So see how it's a little bit too big, but that's okay. I'd rather have it too big than too small. But look how pretty this fabric is. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's like perfect for Frosty the Snowman, even though it's not really Frosty because I change him up a little bit, but you'll see that in a little while. But anyway, get my piece ready. And first I was just gonna skip painting it, but it was that green is just too green and you can see it through the white fabric, so I thought, nah, let me go ahead and just cover it up. And first I thought I would just do 2 coats, but then I thought, well, you know, 1 coat's probably just enough because I just really want to mute that green. So now I've got it all dry and I'm going to add the Mod Podge so I can adhere the fabric to the shadow box. So I just put it on there real quick. I don't hold back. I do a good generous amount so to have a good hold. And so before it dries up, I'll take my fabric and I'll place it in there and smooth it all out. Get all the corners nice and tight. Make sure it's on there right. Get any lumps out of there, any air bubbles, any wrinkles. And just press all the corners, all the sides. And looking cute. I let that dry. And here's my little snowman. He's all nice and dry now. All the spackling is dry and hardened. So I'm going to give him a little hat. So I'm going to take this portion of this tree skirt, this mini tree skirt that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I use this for another DIY for my gnomes, my DIY gnomes. And again, I'm just going to guesstimate what I need to use. I don't know, I'm pretty good at this. I think I've just done it for years and years. So look at that. Perfect. But yeah, if you need to measure, yeah, you can measure. So I'm just going to add some glue and hold it down and try not to burn my fingers because this fabric is pretty thin. Add some more glue and hold it down. And this is what I mean. Frosty didn't have a buffalo plaid hat. He had a top hat. But I had this fabric on hand, so it's what I'm using. So he's got a buffalo check hat. So I'm trying to form a cone. So I kind of fold it and cut off and snip off the excess. And you'll see when I turn it around, you'll see what it's supposed to look like in the back. See, it's just kind of folded like a triangle. So I'll add some glue to help fold down the fabric in a triangle. See? And that holds it down, seals it up, and makes the little hat cute. And so now I'm going to go ahead and glue the rest of his hat onto him because it's kind of coming up at the front. So I go ahead and put a little dab of glue on the inside there and kind of just put the hat down, and I kind of go out of frame a little bit because I was trying to press it towards me. But yeah, get it on there and I just press it till it gets nice and dry. And now I'm taking some of the fuzz that keeps coming off the fuzzy part of this tree skirt, and I'm just going to make them a little pom-pom out of that fuzz. So I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue on there and carefully put that little pom-pom on there, because again, this could be dangerous. This is not good. But it works. It's cute. It's super cute. So just kind of form it and press it. Just don't burn yourself. But he's looking cute so far. So I take the toothpick out, stick his nose back in there, his little carrot nose, and I go ahead and glue his little eyes back on. I went ahead and kept those eyes. I felt like they were cute. So put those back on. I didn't put his little mouth back on. I felt like that little mouth it didn't look right, so I just left him without a mouth, but that's okay. He's my version of the snowman. So here's the other eye. Get it on there. So now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to give him a scarf, and I'm going to use the rest of this buffalo plaid tree skirt bottom portion, and I'm going to cut it off so I can have some buffalo plaid and some of the fuzzy stuff. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue just to close up the edge. Just hold it down. It's a little bit hot, but I'm living dangerous here. So now I'm going to kind of measure and see how much of it I need. This is way too much, but I'd rather have way too much than not enough. So here I snip off the excess and I seal up the other edge and close it up, hold it down, try not to burn my fingers. And once I have that done, then I'm ready to put his little scarf on. So I kind of place it where I think it would go, and adjust it. Add a little bit of hot glue to help hold it down. So put that on there, and then go around his little neck. Add some more glue. And then hold that down. More fuzz that comes off this bottom portion, this trim here. But you know what? We're going to utilize all that fuzziness. Yes, we are. Okay, so here I'm going to try to seal up that bottom little corner just to form it more like a scarf. But this time I'm using my little spatula because that's a little too close for comfort there. Yeah, I don't want to burn my fingers. So here I have it looking cute. I'm going to add one more dab of glue just to help hold the bottom portion of his scarf. And I'm not going to give him any buttons because more or less this scarf kind of covers his body. So it would just be useless. So I just skipped that portion. So yeah, he's my version. So see the rest of this fuzz here? I'm just kind of add it to the back portion of his pom-pom hat. So yeah, waste not, want not. So there he is, my little snowman. Okay, so here is my shadow box. It's all dry, and I place my little snowman in the center. Add a little bit of glue to hold him down so he don't fall off. And this is good glue. This is Gorilla Glue, Gorilla Hot Glue. So here's my little tree, and I added a wood log that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. And so here is my setup, my cute tree that represents the tree that they had to borrow, Christmas with the Kranks, and my snowman, super cute, looks all textured like snow. I added a snowflake from the Dollar Tree on the shadow box, and then this little ornament of the snowballs for 5 cents came from the Dollar General. So this is my little setup for Christmas with the Kranks. Hope you enjoyed it, and please check the playlist for this collab in my description box below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, which is tomorrow, have a great day. Bye bye.